I watched Apple Cider Vinegar. It's not making me like or trust white women any much more than I already don't. I just. Ugh. Apple Cider Vinegar is the story of Belle Gipson. If you're not aware of who Belle Gipson is, good. Let me give you a quick rundown. Back in the early 2010s, when social media was really starting to take off, this is when all the alternative health movements things started, right? Miss Belle Gipson was a prominent influencer. Actually, I think she was one of the first real influencers of the time. She was so big, in fact, that she got her app, The Whole Pantry, put on Apple Watch as one of the first apps on Apple Watch to deal with health and food and taking care of herself. Because Belle Gipson's story was that because of eating well and doing certain alternative procedures and juicing, she basically was able to beat her stage 4 inoperable brain tumor. And if you think that sounds like bullshit, it's because it was. She lied. She lied about having cancer. She lied about having cancer for so long that she basically could not tell the truth about it at all because she would lose everything she had because her entire business was based around the fact that she had created something or had done these treatments that were not of the typical way of doing things that had cured her brain cancer, which she did not have. On top of being a horrible person, because keep in mind, Belle Gipson is an actual person, she also raised a bunch of money for charities that she never actually gave money to charities to. In fact, in the series, there was a young boy who had the actual brain cancer that she said she had. And she said she was raising $60,000 to give him the money for his procedure and never gave them a dime. In fact, to this day, as far as I know, Belle has never paid back a single cent of the money she'd owed. All that money she stole that was donated, she never gave it back. Even after a court order. Nothing. But this isn't all about Belle. There's also another character in this movie named Mila. Mila's based on an actual influencer. I think her name was Rachel. Mila actually gets diagnosed with cancer. And their diagnosis to stop the cancer was that she was going to have to her whole right arm, which is crazy. She was only 22 at the time. She didn't want to lose her arm. So she actually went to the place that Belle said she went to do the alternative medicine that they were offering, which was basically just a juice cleanse and a coffee enema. And if you don't know what an enema is, good for you. Nobody likes a leaky butt. Unfortunately, for Mila, her process and the thing she was doing was a crock of horse crap. She, while doing that, might have shrunken her cancerous cells, but it didn't cure her of cancer. She still had the cancer. The difference between Mila and Belle is that Mila really thought she was doing the right thing. She really thought she was helping people. She really thought she was cured. Whereas Belle knew she was lying and continued lying. Watching this show and watching this, my takeaway from this whole thing is that we need to be aware. Like, I don't trust a lot of medical doctors because of race, because of the handling of the COVID, because of the lying, and because of the dismissal and the inauthentic relationships doctors tend to push on people when they think they know they're right. It's a bunch of like ego and I'm smarter than you, so you should listen to me kind of energy with doctors. That being said, if I try something alternatively and it does not work, I'm going to a medical doctor because I would rather. I might not like you, but at least, there's enough science behind you to back up the fact that maybe what I'm doing isn't helpful. When you have people who have cancer or like life-threatening illnesses and they're looking for a way to save their own life, there is an entire industry of grifting sociopaths who will come up with all these lies to feed you, to get you to pay thousands of dollars for ineffectual treatments that will eventually just delay the inevitable. And I think as people in society, we need to be aware of that. There's a whole backstory that we don't get too much information on. It looks like Belle got kicked out at a very young age by her mom. Her mom looks to have been some kind of addict or alcoholic or just very negative towards her, and basically Belle had to go live with some older dude for a while, which is, that being said, it does not excuse her from for lying and stealing money from people who really deserve it. She's a shit person for everything she did. I stand 10 toes on that. But the one thing I did take away from this movie, more importantly, is the almost $1 billion industry of alternative medicine with no actual fact checking. The reason Belle was able to get away with this for so long is because no one actually checked into her story. Imagine this. Somebody tells you they have cancer. They're dying of terminal cancer and now they're cured. And they never had symptoms, they never lost their hair, they never had chemo, they're cured. No one checked into anything. I think as people, we need to start being more objective and skeptic of what people say and how they're presenting something, because sometimes people just want to believe in something and it's the wrong thing to believe in. As a series, good series. Great acting, great performances. Hated Belle all the way through, which speaks to the quality of the actress. I would definitely check it out on Netflix. It's a good watch. If you want to be like rage quit something, this is the thing.